Okay, so once I have applied my foundation layer, then I will move on to eye makeup. What I will usually do is, even though I've gone in with the foundation onto my eyelids, and this isn't a necessary step, it's just something that I would do, I would also take a concealer of some sort, and with a brush or with a sponge or with any kind of applicator or with your finger, is just take a thin layer of concealer as well. Take that all the way up to the eyebrow, and that will ensure that we get good application and stickiness of the eyeshadow shades once we go into those. Okay, so now my eyelids are prepped. What I will also do, and this is a personal thing, is I will also pencil, or I will brush my brows, and then I will go over them with a brow pomade or brow pencil, but just to give them a little bit more definition and fill in some of the gaps as far as that's concerned. So once the brows have been carved in a bit more, then they're a bit more defined. I always find it helpful to know where your eyebrow finishes, which is around about here, because this will help then with getting that almond eye that Hannah talks about on the handout sheets. So what I have learned over the years doing makeup is that I have a nifty trick with a piece of masking tape to try and get that clean, sharp edge. I don't do this all the time, I just do it when I feel it's necessary. But if you can see here, if I line it up between the end of my eyebrow and the corner of my eye, then it gives me a shape that I can work in. Okay, and then I will take an applicator or the brush, and we will go in with colour number 1 off the palette, and that is this brown tone shade here, number 1. Less is always more as far as this is concerned. You should always be building. You can add, but you can't take away. So I just, with very light strokes, start to build, go up to the corner of go up to the tape. That will make sure that you keep that clean line along the brow bone, starting to define your brow bone with window wiper motions. You may think at first that there's nothing there, but all of a sudden it will start to show and to build. So what's good about a video is that you can do this at the same time as me. And just keep going in, just keep loading up your brush. If you go in with all of your eyeshadow all at the same time, you're not going to get that good blend. It will be a lot more difficult to work with if you're trying to put it all on at the same time. So that's why I go with sort of building in layers. And also, but taking it quite high up to the eyebrow, and trying to finish off, keep those edges so they're not as, so that they're blended in and they're not as like sharp edges as far as those are concerned. So that is colour 1. So I'm just checking what colour 2 is. So that gives us our base colour, and as you can see between my eyes, this one's not done, this one is starting to get done, but it just gives that initial bit of definition. So what I will do now is go in with colour 2. Same rule applies. I'll probably change my brush for this, just because it is that much darker colour. But again, same rule applies. I will start at the outer edge, and then I will start bringing it in as far as the definition is concerned, taking it out to the masking tape, windscreen wiper, motion splish flick, to build on that colour. If you do find that your brush is quite heavily loaded, then just keep going back and forth on your window wiper motions. Keep it quite close to the edge of your eye there. Keep working it, blending that out so it doesn't look really stark. You can just keep building and building on that. I like to deepen the crease area here, so I'll probably put a little bit more in this area and start to build up that smoky eye. And just continue to build on that so that you're creating that dramatic look, taking it up to the edge of the taping. Anything that does get underneath the tape, you can always clean that up afterwards. But as you can see, we've got, it's not really stark as far as the build is concerned, but it is dramatically different to that. Then I will go in with that much darker colour, and again I'll continue to use the same technique, just building. Sorry, I'm looking for another brush. Yep, so just use a fluffy brush of the applicator that comes with the packs that you've got. Again, I start in the crease, define that crease, build it in this area, really window wiper in that area there, bringing it down to the lash line, continuing to build that smoky eye. This is quite a dark colour, so you don't want it to go in as a really like too black. If it goes in really black, it will start to look really silly. So yeah, just continue with your light touches and just try and keep it on the outside of the eye, the darker colours on the outside, otherwise you could look like a panda. So you just keep building on that outside edge. Keep it building. And you can see the less product I've got on my brush, that's when I take it up to the higher part of the eyebrow, so I don't have a really stark line as such. Okay, I want to go a little bit darker because we're going to be on stage, so build that up even more in the corner. And because I'm only putting a little bit on the brush at the time, then it's not too frightening, but you can see the smoke that's built up. Okay, and then once you've got that nice shape and nice shade across, then what I like to do for the lighter colour, so that colour 4, is take a flatter brush and bring that colour across the eyelid from the inside and then out, just trying to stay on the eyelid, trying to blend that out. So that's using the colour number 4. You get a little bit of drop out of this, drops on your face, which is fine, which is also a good reason for the tape, because that prevents you getting too much fallout. across the eye. A good tip to create that definition is to also take that number 4 colour and put that underneath your eyebrow where you've been building up and blending up to, because then it creates that highlight underneath your eye, and then you can just blend that out again.